Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Artists on the Rise. I am your host, the only Kayla, and today I have Richie Evans with me. He's stopping by. Richie, tell everyone what is it that you do and where you're from.
Man, like I said, the name's Richie Evans, you know what I'm saying? Boy from Phoenix, Arizona. Performing artist, of course. Just dropped a new single featuring my man Vedo out there from Atlanta. So, we out here working right now.
I know I saw that. So it's funny. I was telling your publicist that I interviewed Vito a couple weeks back too. So it's crazy how I
Shit.
have you here now too. He was such a nice person. What was it like working with him and kind of cooking up and creating this single?
Yeah. No, Vito has been a solid dude, man. I've known him for a little bit through like passing. We did some work for some other artists and things like that. So that's kind of how we kind of got our names kind of clicking a little bit. But we just vibe, man. We ended up talking about music and kind of the things that we was trying to do within our, rightful careers. And one night I was in Studio B, he was in Studio C, and I just, heard the beat, start writing, creating, and I was like, man, let me send this over to fam and see if he can knock it out. And I sent it over to him, man. He sent it right back, and I think that we got a smash on our hands. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's such a cool story. Those opportunities that people don't realize, like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. Who knows? So I'm happy that
Thanks.
you're able to get that. Tell everyone what's the name of the single and what is it about? What's the vibe you're going for?
The name of the record is called For You. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's just, one of those particular situations. Summer's coming around. Um, you know, just kind of about a dude and a woman, you know what I mean, that he kind of just been peeping, and he just been really trying to talk to her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Really, really try to just connect and see if something, see if something happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand that. Now, I want to talk about early on in your career.
Yeah.
You were labeled as the game's protege, and
Right.
you worked with him heavily. I know you even toured with him at one point. What was
Right.
that like working under the game?
Um, it was a blessing for sure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Game is you know, a star. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he sold millions of records. You know what I mean? He was probably one of the, if not the biggest, artists at one point. You know what I mean? He's he makes great music. You know what I'm saying? I think that, he gets a lot of bad press sometimes just because of, coming from Compton and kind of having that street vibe. But you know what I mean? Outside of that though, man, like he was just a solid big brother though. You know what I mean? He really gave me some gems to really, let me, the do's and don'ts in this industry a little bit, and he's also even gave me, a lot of um, little, side gems, you know what I mean, to kind of help me with my craft and really, understand what it is to kind of create a great body of work and a great record. So, big bro is definitely solid, definitely valid, and definitely, what I'm saying, a blessing in my career.
Yeah, and one thing about the game is too that although he doesn't release music that often, his name still holds weight in the industry.
Facts,
So,
facts,
for you to
facts.
learn under someone like that, I think is pretty cool, especially early on in your career.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I say that too. I'm like, man, people tend to forget that, like, regardless if he don't drop consistent music, he does have a album that is going down in history. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? The documentary is going down with the Illmatics, and what I'm
Yeah.
saying, the Reasonable Doubts, and what I'm saying, the Good Kid, Mad Cities, like, the Chronic, like that. He has a classic album. So, he's dope, man. He's super dope.
Yeah, for sure. And now when you were working with him and kind of getting mentored by him, did you come in contact with any like superstars or someone that left you starstruck?
It's crazy because with him, I had the opportunity to have access to a lot. You know what I mean? Like I was able to meet a lot of different artists, but the two artists that I met that really kind of just had me kind of like, oh shit, was Nas. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm very Nas heavily influenced. You know what I'm saying? He's my top artist. You know what I mean? Um, Nas and Ice Cube was probably the ones for me. You know what I mean? I mean, you meet Mr. NWA himself. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Nas and Ice Cube, and I gotta throw Dre in there too. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre is, you know, something beyond music. You know what I'm saying? So I would say Nas, Cube, and Dre for sure.
Yeah, those are big names. I have yet to meet Dr. Dre or Ice Cube, but I did have the same reaction when I met Nas.
Real shit.
In New York. He has a studios out there, and I was doing a story on one of his artists, and like
Yeah.
he just seemingly walked by, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's not, you know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying?
It was
Like,
funny because that's what it is though. He just kind of got that, he just got that natural aura. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Walk right
super
by you.
quiet, like super just
Right.
chill. Then
Right.
you're like, oh my God, that's nuts.
Right. Right. For sure.
Now let's talk about your project that's dropping later this month, Highly
Yes.
Favored.
Yes.
So what's the vibe that you're going for on that project? Do you have any features?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, the vibe is just growth. You know what I'm saying? For me, I just think that um I named it Highly Favored because you know I kind of treat the rap game kind of like the NFL or NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get a 1 in a million shot to get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like when I got signed with Game, that was like my 1 in a million shot. So in order for me to get a second one, you know what I'm saying? I always felt like, you know, God just got his hand on me a little bit extra. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And so it's just like I said, man, it's just about like, you know, a great body of music, about growth. You know what I'm saying? I got Vedo on the album for sure. I got Eric Bellinger on it. I got Rick Ross on it. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? So yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been really putting in some work with this shit for sure.
I see you working.
Yeah, we're trying to get it right.
Now, what was it like creating a body of work during a pandemic? Was it easier? Was it harder? What was that like?
Truthfully, it was a gift and a curse. I mean, of course, early on, like we didn't really know what we was getting into as far as the pandemic situation hit. I mean, you know, that situation happened actually when I was on tour with Rick Ross at the time. So, you know, we had to get off the road and then, you know, come home, end up coming home. And then, like I said, man, you're really not understanding what's really going to happen, what's really going on. You don't know if, you know, people dying from the flu, whatever. But due to the downtime and due to just being slowed down a little bit, man, it really kind of makes you put a lot of things into you know, perspective. You know, as an artist, you know, every day we wake up, we chasing a check, chasing the interview,
Yeah.
chasing the next show. So, you know, to be able to kind of really sit down and slow down a little bit, you know, kind of gives you a moment to kind of just reflect on yourself and really, you know what I mean, help me kind of write some of the best music to date. You know what I mean? I was able to tap into some of my true emotions and, you know, really you know, just tap in on self. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So as far as the pandemic situation for me, I mean, it was a little bit rocky at first, but I think it did come out to become a blessing for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because every time I interview like an artist, especially during, now or during the pandemic, I always like to ask them, you know, during this time of quarantine and just being home 24/7, did you find yourself um more creative or did you find
Right.
yourself drawing a blank? So I think it's cool to hear you say that you were able to create still in that space and, um put out a great body of work, of course.
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Now, I do want to talk about rap for a little bit because you are a
Yeah.
rapper. I have
Yeah.
listened to your music and you got bars. You're
I
nice.
appreciate it. I
You know,
appreciate it. You know?
what is your take on the state of hip hop right now? Where do you feel like you fit in?
Um, well, I'll say the state of hip hop right now, like artist wise, I think it's solid. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's more diverse now than ever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Which is a good thing. You know what I mean? I mean, that just means that, you know, the craft and art is growing. Um, as far as me, man, you know, like it's funny because I think I'm just really trying to find my lane. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, when people ask me like, yo, if you had to compare yourself to somebody, like not in no like copy way, but if you had to compare yourself to somebody, like who would it be? And I always said I felt like I'm a mashup between Nas, T.I., and Game. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And
a good
then
mashup.
sprinkle a little bit of Fab on there just for the female records, and you know, that's what it is. But
Mhm.
um nah, I mean, you know, like I'm finding my lane. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, I'm strong enough to go bar for bar with any artist in the game, but I think that I also can make records that can appeal to the masses. So, you know, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now as an artist.
Yeah, because you are for sure talented. And like I said, you have bars. And I feel like there's always gonna be a place for rappers who can rap.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I stand on that. Like I'm a rapper's rapper. Like if you want to turn on the switch, we can go bar up real heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But like I said, also though, you know, the artistry side, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you want to, like I said, appeal to a bigger demographic. Of course, you want to sell records and, you know, solidify your name. So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Now, are you independent or are you signed to a label at this time?
Well, I always say it's independently major, but nah, I got an independent situation through a company called In Grooves, actually, who got picked up by Universal. So,
Okay.
um, you know, right now, like I said, we working, we doing the necessary steps. You know what I'm saying, to really get the name to where it needs to be. Like I said, to try to reach, you know, new faces and new ears. And like I said, man, just continuously putting out great music product and content and see what we can do.
Now, if a record label was to come up to you today and say, "Hey, I want to sign you," is that something that you would go for, or do you still want to kind of maintain that independent route?
Um, right. If they came to me right now, I still would like to take the independent route. Like,
Yeah.
people got to understand, like I was signed to Interscope before, you know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
was signed to a major and really understand how that whole cycle and, you know, situation goes. But I think right now, man, like I'm in a good space. Like I said, I'm making great creative music. You know, we're putting it out. You know, the label I'm dealing with right now, you know, we have great communication. You know, everything has been right. So I think right now I'll stay where I'm at.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think social media has distorted a lot of that for people because, they'll see someone on Instagram or TikTok or, YouTube and, they have this one song that blows up and,
Right.
under no major label and they're like, "Oh, I can be independent." And I think there is a lane definitely for independent artists,
For
but
sure.
I think also people need to understand the work, the
Facts.
money and the passion that goes behind going that independent route.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, I had an interview the other day and I said the same thing. I think that a lot of people get lost in the translation of this whole grind situation because they see the end result of a record. Like, you know, you'll see the video or you'll hear it on the radio,
Mhm.
but you don't understand what that brainstorm and that grind and that push was to get it to that particular point. You know, you don't understand the sacrifices and the investments and times that was made to get it to that point. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that this everybody sees the full end result and really not the true, you know, grind from it. You know what I mean? Especially right now with everything being so accessible. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I think people is just jumping on their phone, rapping, putting it out, and you know, you know, thinking it's a hit. I guess
Yeah.
you know. I don't know.
Mhm. Now you mentioned earlier that you are from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about growing up in Arizona and what inspired you to get into rap?
Um, you know, Phoenix is dope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one of the newer cities building right now. You know what I'm saying? I think that we don't have the biggest hip hop scene like in Atlanta, Miami, and New York, LA. But I think that like with artists like myself and a few others, I think that we're really starting to, you know, carve out a real respectable niche for, you know, outside cities and people to really take it serious. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, you know, as far as how I got into the music scene, man, I use it as like a therapeutic thing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, you watch MTV and you see Nas or see somebody or Ice Cube and you really have a first, you know, impression of just really kind of liking their music and what they do. But, you know, I felt like once I started doing it, you know what I'm saying, and really start kind of creating my own, you know, creative path, man, I just got confident enough that I felt that I can go toe to toe with everybody else. I mean, it wasn't an overnight thing. Of course, I had to, like I said, sit in them studio sessions with Game and kind of watch his creative process and, you know, meeting other fellow artists and kind of seeing how they did things too. And like I said, just worked and created you know, the outline to where I am now. So yeah.
Do you see yourself moving to any one of those other states that you mentioned, like either LA, New York, Atlanta, where the scene is a little bit different to try
Right.
and catapult your music?
Um, so just came back from the A, you know what I'm saying? And I'm always in LA.
Really? You were in Atlanta?
Yeah. I
We
went up,
could have
matter of
done
fact,
this face to
me,
face.
my fault, you know what I'm saying? I apologize. Yeah, I went I just got back, me and Vedo shot the video.
Oh,
Actually, you know,
nice.
the video drops next week actually. So I'll make sure that I have Vic and everybody tune you in with that as well. But
Mhm.
nah, Atlanta, LA, like I said, I'm always there, but love them other cities and states, but AZ would always be my home. Of course, I'll end up having like a place at one of those other spots, but Arizona's like my home. You know, I'm a person that I need balance. I
Yeah.
need peace. You know what I'm saying? So I always go to the shit and then I'll come out. You know what I mean?
And right now, Atlanta's just like on 10. So you
Facts.
definitely,
Facts.
it's good to have that balance and to have your home.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the way I wrap up my interviews
Yeah.
is I play a fun little rapid fire segment I created called 5 questions nobody ever asks.
Okay.
All right. So let me know when you're ready. I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions and you got to try and answer them, in like 30 seconds, but I'm not counting.
All right. Let's run it.
All right. So first question is, who is the most famous contact in your phone?
Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
That's a huge contact. That's the contact.
Hold on. Yeah, I was gonna say Kendrick because he's the face of music, but yeah, Dre.
Damn, Kendrick is a good one though.
Yeah. He's the GOAT right now, but nah, like it's still Dre though. Come on, Dre's like he damn near invented hip hop. So come on, Dre.
Now, how did you snag Kendrick's number?
Oh, that's my guy.
Tell him that we need an album.
No, that's my guy. When I was coming up in my ranks, when I moved to LA, when I signed with Game, him and J Rock and a few others was the first artist that I met. You know what I'm saying? We ended up building a cool friendship relationship, and it's just always been love. So that's my guy.
Okay. Question number 2 is Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Hove for sure. You know what I'm saying? Hove is different. West is different too, but I got to go with Hove on that.
Why?
Hove move different. You know what I'm saying? I just love the way that Hove move. Like, he the biggest fish in the room, but he be out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He don't really gotta, he don't really gotta flaunt that. That's just who he is. And plus, man, his bar game is up.
I agree.
And he's been up for a minute. Yay too, but Hove is Hove. So yeah.
Yeah. And Jay-Z's just like only about money and family. Like he's so low key,
Facts.
He's like, I don't gotta be in the mix.
1,000%. You know what I mean? But that's the way it should be though, on everything.
Okay, question number 3. Top 5 rappers.
Ice Cube, Nas, Game, T.I., Kendrick.
All right, say that one more time. Nas,
Ice Cube, Game, T.I., Kendrick.
Okay, that's on 5. J. Cole's not in that?
No, I fuck with Cole. Don't get me wrong, but so people always ask me like, Cole, I rock with Cole. Cole got it. Don't get me wrong. But I always feel like Kendrick and Cole are kind of in the same lane.
Yeah.
And I gotta run with with that. So
but I'm messing with you. Those are your top 5 rappers. This is a good top 5.
Yeah.
Question number 4 is, can you tell me about an embarrassing moment that happened to you in your career?
When I met Ice Cube for the first time, I was in the studio and I was kind of nervous and kind of starstruck. And I accidentally spilled some Hennessy on him.
That's pretty.
So, that was kind of one of those situations where, yeah.
You were like, I'm head out.
Yeah, like, you know what, OG, I'm out of here at this point. You know what I mean?
That's funny. Okay, and the last question number 5 is, who would be your dream collab that you could hop on a track with?
Hove.
Jay-Z record?
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Nas is the one, but I think I'm gonna get that soon.
Okay.
Fact. I think I'm gonna get that soon. But Hove, I think is the big dream one. Him or Usher.
Usher, okay. That'd be. I mean, Usher's a legend, so
Facts.
That'll be a dope collab for sure.
Facts on that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Richie Evans, for virtually stopping by. Lastly, tell everyone where they can find you on social media and what they can look forward to.
Man, like I said, it's your man Richie. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's @WhoIsRichie, @WhoIsRichie. And like I said, man, make sure you get that For You single out right now featuring me and Vedo. And make sure you tap into that new EP dropping this summer called Highly Favored. You know what it is.